Good evening. Welcome to another episode of City Styles. I'm your host, Pegah Ahani, and it is just before the new year, 2018. And tonight I have a special guest here from Net Radio's own Net Sports. His name is Christian Basantes. Please welcome Christian Basantes, Net Sports, on City Styles tonight.
Hello, Pegah, how are you? Thank you for inviting me here, and hello to all the listeners and viewers. It is pretty short.
Thank you for being here, Christian.
Thank you
I
too.
know you're a busy man. But tonight I want to talk about something really interesting, something different, something that's kind of been on, soccer fans' minds, and that is the upcoming FIFA 2018 being held in Russia.
Sure.
So I think that's a big topic, and a lot of people don't really know what's going on after the qualifying games, which countries are going to be the finalists. So we're going to talk about that. So Christian, tell us a little bit about these games that are going to be happening in June. So the first game is going to be happening when in June?
Okay, well, Russia 2018 will be the 21st FIFA World Cup in the history of the game.
Okay.
And June 14 is the beginning of this tournament, and the opening game is going to be between Russia, the host nation, and Saudi Arabia. So, from now we have a little bit about 6 months and or less than that, 5 months and a couple of weeks to start enjoying that big celebration that happens every 4 years in a different part of the world. So this time is in Russia. In Europe.
That's right, and every 4 years we wait for it. I know soccer is a big part, or I call it football. In
Me
my
too.
culture and in your culture,
Me too.
Football is very important to our family culture, to our national culture.
That's right.
I've been watching FIFA with my dad since I was a kid, and last year it was in Brazil. So last time, 4 years ago, it was held in Brazil.
That's right.
And so this year it's in Russia, and that's quite a difference going from a Latin country to a non-Latin country.
A European.
A European country.
Yeah.
And so I guess there's obviously right there's a huge difference, right? 64 games, matches to be played to find out who's going to be the champion of the FIFA World Cup. So very exciting. We've organized the groups here, so maybe you can tell us about who are the top 8 in the lineup.
All right. According to the draw we saw on December 1st, the teams, the 32 nations that qualified to this World Cup were distributed in 4 pots. Then the pot number 1 was for the top 8 teams in the world, according to ranking FIFA, which is a ranking that classifies the top teams according to their performance in the tournaments they play, and also in the international friendlies they play.
Right.
So the top 8 teams were Portugal, France, Argentina, Brazil, Germany, Poland, and Belgium as well. What happened? Russia is also in these top 8 teams. They may not be really right now in the ranking FIFA as a top 8, but the thing is, they are the host nation right now, so that's why they became the right to be in the top 8.
So does the host nation always get to be in that top rank?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a matter of sympathy with the host
And
nation.
courtesy.
Yeah, courtesy, I will say,
I
from
see.
FIFA.
I
Yeah.
see.
The other teams were distributed according to their ranking. For example, Spain and France and Peru, they were in the pot number 2. Other teams like Mexico and I will say England were also in the pot 2 as well. They were distributed according in the draw. So it's quite complex to explain right now how it was. The thing is that the draw gave us the groups that we have here right now, and if you ask me what is the most difficult group right now, I will say Group C, D, and F are the most complicated for who to decide who's gonna qualify for the next round.
That's right. That's right. And everybody's going to be looking to Messi.
Oh yeah, Lionel
Another
Messi.
FIFA with Messi is going to get messy. Apparently, he feels like the FIFA owes him a lot. So I've been reading about that controversy. And I mean, I think a lot of people depend on Messi.
Not exactly FIFA owes him something. It's the game, the sport owes him something. It's going to be the fourth time that Lionel Messi plays a FIFA World Cup, and the last three he couldn't make it. He couldn't make he couldn't get the world champion with his team, with Argentina.
Right.
He was really close last time in Brazil against Germany. Unfortunately, I will say the destination, not the destination, I mean the luck wasn't at his side, and at the end Germany celebrated, right? So that's why the game owed him a world title, because he has been to the game a really big idol. I mean a big not idol, a big thing for the soccer. Is considered, for many specialists, is considered the best player in all times. The only thing he's missing is to win the World Cup. That's why Messi is saying, the game owes me a world title.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is really good, so
Yeah.
we can always depend on him to score some goals, right?
Argentina especially.
Yes. Give credit to the whole team.
Yeah.
So, so the first game is going to be Russia against Saudi Arabia.
Yes, right.
So what are your thoughts on that? What do you think is going to happen? What's your anticipation?
Well, Russia is playing at home, right? So they have the home advantage. Saudi Arabia, I'm not really familiar with with the players and who's the coach. Experience. However, according to that, because of the home advantage, I will say that Russia has more chances to win that game, right? However, in the field is 11 against 11, so you don't know what's gonna happen. I can tell you there is an history of opening games. In 2002, France, the cup holders, that time they were facing Senegal. And many specialists were thinking that France was gonna have an easy game and Senegal was gonna be piece of cake. At the end, Senegal beat them in the opening game, and that was the first shocking in that World Cup in 2002. So you never know. Maybe Saudi Arabia is going to upset the Russians, and you know.
Yeah, no, I mean that would be a little bit disconcerting if they lost in their first game in the home, of the FIFA World Cup, and they're definitely a different host, a European host. The FIFA music that we're listening to, that's a pretty good song. It's totally different than anything we're used to. I know you and I were discussing about some of the disappointments of the FIFA in Brazil, and how they didn't incorporate their culture into their games. That you would have liked to see that carnival attitude, for the soccer. But I mean, there was some politics there, right? There was some, civilian, politics there, just within the people versus, they didn't want, the people didn't really want FIFA. There was a lot of problems, just.
Well, what I can tell you is I had the opportunity to be in Brazil during that World Cup.
Oh, really?
Well, no, I wasn't the whole tournament, but I went for the first round, right?
Oh, wow.
And I had the chance to talk to some Brazilians there. And for instance, they were saying that, we were against the organization of this whole thing here because at the end it became 12 host cities to be used for the tournament when only actually we needed 9. So it was a lot of involved of construction companies being there, because these construction companies belong to politicians, and they have businesses with the government, things like that, right?
Right.
Another thing is during the opening ceremony in Brazil, for example, we didn't see too much of what is Brazil all about, partying and soccer, right? So they show some culture, but not really as the world would have expected, right? Other things. Talking about again the stadiums, for example, they use it. It was some controversy that were stadiums built in places where there is no first division soccer at all.
Yeah.
And one of those cities, for example, is Manaus, close to the Amazon River, where this city, Manaus, doesn't have a team, not even in the fourth division league. So those were the controversies. And also, Days before the World Cup starts, some stadiums were not completed yet, were not ready yet.
There you go.
There.
Yeah.
So
economic problems, right?
Yes,
Socioeconomic problems.
yes, that's right.
A conflict of that. What's happening, in terms of poverty. People
That's
are
right,
facing
yeah.
more challenging things. Just within the country, it's hard to get on the bandwagon
That's right.
if you're going through economic problems.
So if a country already has these problems,
Yeah.
and spending too much for this World Cup was the controversy. That was why people were not really happy with the tournament going on. At the end, it happened, and at the end we had a good World Cup. And
Yeah, we did.
Yes, and comparing to what's going on in Russia, everything is set to go. Stadiums are ready enough. The cities are the number of cities to be hosting this tournament are good. Is a good number enough, so there is no more than less, and everything is ready. This last summer in in June, we had the Confederations Cup going on there, and journalists, players, everybody who is involved close to this organization, they notice that Russia is ready to go. So what we are missing is these teams there, and the fans.
Exactly.
And June 14th,
2,300,000 tickets have been sold so far, and they're still selling for June. And there's not just that controversy, but there's also controversy about Italy is not in FIFA.
Ah, yeah.
Italy! So I'm sure Italians are really disappointed and upset about this, because I know for Italians football is huge, and of course FIFA is, but when was the last time that they weren't in the, do you know that? Do you know when was the last time?
It's a great question what you brought it to the table right now. Pega, I've been watching this tournament since 1986. And every time I watch a World Cup, I remember Italy is in this one, is in the World Cup. So this time, this is going to be the first time I don't see Italy in a World Cup.
I was gonna say, this sounds like
and
it's the first time, right?
Yeah, and that's my particular personal case. According to what I read in the history of this game, in the last time Italy was not in a World Cup was in 1958. So in the last 60 years, there is always the presence of Italy, of the national Italy team in this World Cup. It's a big upset for the game. It's a big upset because a team that has been winner 4 times in this tournament is not going to be there. However, the fact that right now there is no good game being played in that country is kind of well deserved where they are. So Italy is not really right now. They don't have a really good players. Most of the top players are close to retirement. So, for example, like the goalie Gianluigi Buffon, he decided to retire already. So it's not new young players, new blood for the team. So that's why the elimination was well deserved, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I would say they are champions, in that way. You know what, Italians, don't even worry about it. Just sit back, have your vino, enjoy watching the rest of the countries play. I'm sure Italians themselves have some other teams that they're rooting for. Definitely a disappointment not to see them in there. But, I mean, we have Brazil and Germany, which we were talking about. It sounds like Germany and Brazil are going to be a superpower. It's also hopeful that Spain is going to do really well. Of course, Argentina, because they have Messi. What about Portugal?
Portugal, well,
Cristiano Ronaldo, is he playing?
Yeah.
Yes. So Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is another one that has many fans. A lot of Iranians love Cristiano Ronaldo.
And they are in the same group as well, eh?
Yeah, and Iran, my country, is in is one of the finalists, 2nd year in a row.
All right.
So they were in Brazil. I don't think they didn't make it after a few games, but they definitely played and gave some teams a very hard time. But I'm very hopeful to see them play well, because our coach, I was going to say goalie, our coach is Queiroz.
Carlos
And
Queiroz, yeah.
Carlos Queiroz, and he's been doing a really great job. He's had such a good chemistry with the team. He's definitely taught our team a lot about defense, playing offensively, so it's really good.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to watch that with my dad. And just go to some bars, and just sit and watch. It's always such a good feeling watching FIFA. I always look forward to it, and it's always in the summertime, so it's a great time. Everybody's out watching the games. So what do you anticipate for some of these games? And Mexico's also in there, so Viva Mexico as well. So that's great. It's good to see all the teams that I'm rooting for in here. But at the end of the day, I am a true patriot, and I want Iran to win, of course. But I mean, I'm hopeful that Iran will win. But I'm also hopeful for Spain, and I'm also hopeful for Argentina.
All right. Well, if you ask me who are the favorites right now, the top two, I will say Germany and Brazil over here.
Okay.
Germany is the current cup holder, and they have. It's amazing that Germany have some players that are retiring already. The good thing is that they have the new young talents who are coming back in behind them are still really good. In the last Confederations Cup, they presented a team B, the second team for Germany. They presented and they won the tournament.
Wow.
So that means they have good players coming up, a good support from what they have already. Brazil has improved recently. The top player is Neymar, and the new coach Tite.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, and the new coach Tite has returned Brazil to what it's supposed to be. They play really well. They play the famous Jogo Bonito, and is working that team really well. They qualify 5 journeys before the end in South America. So with anticipation, they qualify with 5 games left before the end. They qualify. So they show really great level. If nothing strange happens, I will say that Germany and Brazil are going to be any of those two will be the world champion. But I wouldn't say that. Don't even think that Argentina is going to do anything. Well, Argentina has Lionel Messi in their team, so they have still some time to improve and find the right team for Messi to play. Portugal, I wouldn't ignore as well. They are the European Cup holders,
Right.
and they have Cristiano Ronaldo as well. And lately, in the last Confederations Cup, they made it to semifinals. So they have the confidence building there. So they may make history in this new tournament. The best position that Portugal had in the past was the 4th place in 2006. So still have motivation and room to improve. Spain, as you mentioned, is a really good candidate as well.
Yes.
And I will say France comes stronger now.
I see.
They were the runners-up from the last European Cup, so still something to present in their resume as well.
Okay, and what about Britain? Does Britain have any new players?
You mean England, right?
England, yes.
England.
Britain, England.
Well,
Britain, darling.
well, it happens that in this year we had the FIFA World Cups for under 17 and under 20, and in
see.
both they got the championship, England. So they have also great new talents to play in the World Cup. And currently, right now, they have a great player called Harry Kane, who is the top scorer in Europe right now.
Wow.
So that top scorer, adding to the great talents they have in the young generation, so England is also a team to consider for this.
Wow, okay.
So as you can hear, it's a great tournament coming up. So hopefully every single good player will make it there, because there's still five and a half months to go, right? And still the seasons in Europe are being played. So any injury happening in the last minute, any bad, yellow card happen, red cards anyway, so suspensions may happen. So hopefully every single player every star we want to see playing there is gonna make it. So
Excellent. I forgot to mention another team I'm rooting for, Croatia. So,
the Croatians. Oh,
Croatians, yeah, I'm definitely rooting for the Croatians.
They have a
Croatia and
talent as well.
Iran, I'm definitely rooting for those two countries first, and then the rest can, if they don't do well, which I hope they do.
Okay.
So with all this controversy and everything, what do you think? What do you think about the just this difference in culture around FIFA, having it in Europe, having it in Russia, a colder climate? But I mean,
I'm not sure if it's going to be cold in June.
Not in June.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's right. It's going to be in June.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think in those terms? Like, what do you think? Around controversy and just political gossip. What do you think about that? Do you think? Do you think like people are upset that it's not in a Latin country?
Well, actually, not really, because FIFA has been clear in these standards that they usually award the bid to alternatively, they do kind of an alternation between, okay, this time was in South America, next time is in Europe, next time is in Asia, next time is in Africa, and now next time is another confederation. That's why the next World Cup is supposed to be scheduled in Qatar, so that's in Asia, right?
Okay.
So the next time the Asian Confederation has the opportunity to host with Qatar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the next time is hopefully going to be in Canada, Mexico, and United States.
Oh, beautiful.
So that will mean that the CONCACAF, the North American and Central Confederation is the opportunity to host, right? So it's a matter. How can I say? It's a matter of this is your chance. This is the time for you. So take advantage and enjoy it and host it, right? And
that's so fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
That's very fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's a misconception. It's like,
Yeah.
So football doesn't just belong to the Latin world.
It's not something that FIFA is giving Brazil because they like Brazil, and now is giving to Russia because they like Russia. It's just a matter because that according to the organization of the game, so okay, this is the time for you, this is time for Europe, this is the time for Asia. So that's why when it comes that way, FIFA announces that. And then there come countries that, okay, I would like to host, and there are around 5 countries that they raise their hand in order to compete to get awarded with the bid. Mm-hmm. And then it comes the voting for the FIFA members, and that's how they decide where it's going to be.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm getting educated all about FIFA. I don't know much about FIFA, and that's why I invited Christian Basantes here, because he knows all about that. And I
do my best, not everything.
Yeah, it's nice to know the details of how this all works and the dynamics of selection and the matches. And I swear, I think my dad's explained it to me like a million times, but I've never really gotten it. I guess I'm not listening very well. But I even watching the qualifying game, that's really like a very high tension.
It's exciting,
it's exciting, and when it's when it's actually the matches for FIFA, it's also very exciting. So I look forward to that. And also we were mentioning, what about the ladies? What about the Women's World Cup? That's 2019?
That's 2019, yeah. It won't happen this upcoming year. That starts in 3 days, no? It will be in France 2019. So in that World Cup is 24 nations compete. So the qualifications will be this year.
Okay. So the girls are going to start doing the qualifying games now in this year?
Actually, in Europe they already started.
They already started. Okay.
In South America, I understand they start in April this year. I'm not familiar with the other confederations, especially with the one that is part Canada. I'm sure it's going to happen next year. Exactly the month, I'm not really sure. The only thing I can confirm is that 2019 June, France is waiting for the world to join, for the female world. Yeah.
That's great. So a lot of things happening in June.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we need a trip to Europe. Let's go to. Is it being held in Moscow? The FIFA.
Yeah, Moscow is
version of
one. Yeah, Moscow is
So
one of
the
the
stadium's
cities.
in Moscow. Okay.
Actually, Moscow has two stadiums that are gonna be using for the World Cup. Other cities like Sochi, Kazan, and St. Petersburg are also part of this FIFA tournament happening in June this year.
Okay, so there's different stages for this.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So and then June. So the next lineup after that is Egypt, Morocco, and Portugal. So that's going to be Friday, June 15th. So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, according to that, in June 15 is where the FIFA is going to decide who is going to be the host for the 2026 World Cup.
On June 15th.
Yes,
Okay.
and I know exactly this because I had the opportunity when we went to the game Canada versus United States here in BC Place, and you may remember that.
Yes, of course.
The previous days we had the opportunity to interview Victor Montagliani, who is the president of CONCACAF, the North American Central Confederation, and also one of the vice presidents of FIFA. And he's also behind the bid to get the 2026 World Cup for Canada, USA, and Mexico. And he told us that in June 15, FIFA is going to decide, the members of FIFA are going to vote to decide who's going to be the host in 2026. So hopefully we'll have great news for this country, United States and Mexico. That
I don't mind if it's in Mexico. Let's just say I don't mind.
The three nations are going to host. The three nations are competing. So
okay,
they
awesome.
are.
So they'll each host.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
So
Okay.
yeah, there are plans already. So a few games are gonna be in US, another few games in Canada, and another few games in Mexico. So, but more details will confirm by June 15 when we get the new great news, hopefully.
Okay. And Christian, you told me who you think or you anticipate is going to do very well or maybe win, but you didn't tell me who you're rooting for.
Me? Okay.
You're from Ecuador, yes?
Yes,
So-
unfortunately my country is not in this World Cup right now.
Oh,
But
that's okay.
my neighbors, they are, Colombia and Peru are in this World Cup, so I'm gonna be cheering for them, wish them that they do well, really well. I'll be cheering for Brazil and Mexico as well, as a good Latin American I am, so. And I really hope Argentina wins, I really hope, because I'm kind of fan of Messi. I would like to see him raising the World Cup for his team. But honestly, it's going to be tough for them. I think Brazil and Germany have really good chances. But if you ask me for follow my heart, yeah, let's go with Argentina.
Okay, so it's Argentina it is. All right. Awesome. That's so great. Okay, I feel like I've been schooled. And I'm looking forward. We're going to have to catch some games together.
Absolutely,
And you can tell me all about what I need to know. And thank you so much for making time to be on City Styles tonight.
Thank
it's a
you
pleasure
for the
to have you.
invitation. My
Remember
pleasure.
to watch Christian on Net Sports on the Spanish channel of Net Radio Online. He is one of the broadcasters for Net Deportes.
That's right.
That's right. And what days? You can tell our viewers.
Yes, Sundays at 5 p.m. Sundays 5 to 8 is where we talk with my teammates. In this show, we talk about the sports, we talk about especially soccer, and yeah, we also talk about the tennis, basketball, other sports, hockey, baseball as well, and we do that on Sundays at 5 p.m. in Spanish. This time, actually this Sunday, we are not going to be on at 5 p.m. because it's New Year's Eve.
Okay.
We are going to be at 2 p.m. So
2
make
p.m.
sure you listen to us, you watch us here, because we are going to have as the summary of the best of 2017 in sports.
Are you a good soccer player?
I not anymore. I used
No?
to be.
You used to be? I used to
was a
play
good
soccer
def-
too.
Ah, did you?
Yeah, I was defense and goalie.
All right.
You know, they put me places to keep the ball away from the net. I like to play. I did play forward, but I think I liked playing defense most.
All right.
Yeah, it was nice. All right. Thank you so much, Christian. A pleasure
thank
to
you so
have
much too.
you.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much too.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of City Styles here on Net Radio Online. I'm your host, Pegah Ahani. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time on City Styles.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, and good night.
Good night.